short stack over there. And I'm going to put it right up in the back. Well guys, I tell you what, Patrick has worked the hound out of me today.
I think that's the other way around there, Richard.
Or he's worked the smoky out of me today because he's a big hound. He's done nothing but want to play all day. If we were stacking wood, he would climb on top of the stack. If we were spreading sawdust, he would get right in the middle of the sawdust. He's got to have that nose of his right in the middle of anything that's going on. And he's got to have attention from everybody too. But what we're doing right here is we're burning a whole lot of scrap that I had laying around, just trying to clean up some. The place got to looking a little bit junky. I'll take you around here shortly and show you what we've done, but we did a pretty good cleanup today. It looks a whole lot better. We fixed the sawmill doors, the plastic on there, actually used some of the plastic that I pulled off that had, you know, a few holes in it, so went ahead and put that up there. It's a little bit thicker plastic, so it should last maybe 3 years. The other actually lasted 2 years. I think it was 2 mil. Actually it lasted, you know, a couple of years. So went ahead and put new plastic on the doors, so they'll be good for a few more years. Before I need to make a decision on whether, when I get moved in here, whether I'm going to leave it sitting there or actually take that building down, because it was just a throw up type building to cover the sawmill. I don't know if I want it sitting right in front of the cabin, so I may pay somebody to come do a little excavating down a little bit lower where I can actually move the sawmill, build a workshop on the end of it, and maybe use that area to actually put up a garage. So anyway, but yeah, we did a lot of cleanup today. Patrick said that today, of all days, him coming up here and helping me, what did you say?
That today's the most tired I've been after helping him out. Today's exhausted me.
Yeah. All we did was run around picking up stuff and moving stuff, just cleaning. So, but honestly, we unloaded, this is no lie, we unloaded that big old trailer that was full of slab wood, probably, what, 3 feet high at least?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I never thought we were going to stop pulling them off and stacking them up over there, but we finally got it, because I'm going to need that trailer when I go to the church and cut those trees down. So, but didn't want to work him anymore. Didn't want him to wear out his welcome. Yeah, he probably came up here with his tool belt and everything, expecting to do some work today, and all we did was clean up.
I thought it was going to rain today, so I thought we'd be inside doing stuff.
Well, honestly, we thought it was going to rain. It did. I thought maybe a sprinkle or two earlier this morning, but then it stopped. That's the reason I didn't go over to the church today and cut, because I didn't want to mess up the yard down there at the parsonage with the tractor. So we started cleaning out the sawmill, the sawdust and all that, and we just kept going, and then first one thing led to another, and we actually did a really good job around here. So like I say, I'll take you around here and show you a little bit, because I know that he's wanting to go. He's really tired, probably got work at home he's got to do. But I think that is the last of the pieces, trash for a while, that I'm going to burn. I've got one more small stack over there by the tractor that I need to go through, so there may be a few more. But my brother-in-law just left. He came up here and he goes, I wanted to see if your cabin was on fire. He said, you come around the corner of the mountain down there, and he said, you could see all that smoke. Well, I don't see anything right here. I mean, I see a little bit of smoke, but he said that, I didn't know if he was burning something, whether he was at home or something was on fire up here. So he came up to check, so that's good. But it's pretty hot down in there, so they should burn pretty good tonight, if they don't burn all the way. So anyway, well, Patrick, thanks a whole lot for coming up here and helping out. Didn't you say you had a joke?
I do. I have a joke. I'm going to be Jennifer for today.
Jennifer, he's got a joke.
Got a joke. So, what kind of hand tool do you use in math?
What kind of hand tool do you use in math? I have no idea.
Multipliers. It's corny, it fits.
That sounds like a Jennifer joke, doesn't it? Multipliers. Oh well. Alright. Thanks a bunch. Okay. Guys, he's going to leave, but I'll take you around and show you kind of what we were able to accomplish today. Well, that's the plastic that we put on the doors. That was some of the sections that actually came off the house that, like I said, may have some holes in them or whatever. We did trim off a little bit because they only go 9 feet high and it was 10 foot. But I had enough. I wrapped it around some of the corners and stapled it on the inside. This time I've got it on the outside, so it will help protect those boards on the outside too. But like I said, that is 6 mil, so it should last a little bit longer. But it was something that we could do to, because the other was just breaking down on me. I'd stapled it several times, but every time a big windstorm came, it just cracked because of the sun had deteriorated it. But that should last, like I said, a couple of years because it's a thicker mill, and it needed it anyway, so we just went ahead and did that. So let me take you down here and show you the stack or the pile of wood that I've got going on now. This right here is the newest stack that we put up. We did add to this stack, we added to the next stack, and we added to the next stack. But I'm going to pan the camera and let you see the extra slab wood that I've got going on here. And I just started saving it recently because there was a couple of loads that I had actually taken down there in the hollow where I'm going to build a base camp. But I decided to go ahead and start stacking some of it behind the sawmill, so there'll be a whole lot of projects that I could use it on. Yeah, let me pan the camera and show you. So that's quite a bit of lumber going on back here. I've still got piles of logs that I haven't got to. I've got blowdown in the woods. I've got branches and stuff. If I ever get this cleaned up, it will not be too soon. But you know, the main thing is to get what I need done, the priority stuff, which was the getting the raised beds made, that flower garden, getting the chicken house started. I will, on rainy days, I'm going to start putting some plumbing in, some wiring in the cabin so that I can go ahead and start putting up insulation, trying to button up the inside. I'm going to use plywood on the floor. I'm going to use 1/2 inch. That's going to be my finished floor. I'm going to burn it, and I'm going to put some of that tung oil on it, and then probably put a couple of coats of clear sealant on there. So that ought to turn out really nice, and it should match everything else that I'm doing. But yeah, I got the trailer unloaded up there, so it's ready to haul those trees once I buck those up into firewood. That'll be all the firewood that I need for next winter, I suppose, and it's good hardwood. So let me take you up there around the cabin and show you what we did up there. So we actually restacked the 16-foot 1x10s that I had left, which wasn't that many. I think there was about 8 of them that I used for siding on the cabin. We kind of restacked all of that, cleaned that up. A lot of that stuff we burned that was trash. Picked up around in here, got that kind of straightened up a little bit. Got those things that I had made to when I was working on the beams and the tenons and the mortises. They were a little bit shorter, but that worked good for me because I was able to not have to bend over, or it wasn't up too high. Got those moved over. I didn't go up on the hill today because it was muddy, and I kind of took my bucket and I back dragged where I had been earlier in the winter where I had lots of ruts, and I kind of smoothed that out. So I'm going to wait for it to dry up before I carry them up there, but I'm going to carry them up there around where we're going to be doing work on the chicken house so that we can use those up there. But got this cleaned up around here, swept the footer off a little bit, and picked up a bunch of trash up here around this part of the cabin, so it actually looks a whole lot better. So let me swing you around here and show you what I did with some of the sawdust. I had a couple of piles of sawdust that were laying here. They weren't big piles. Then I brought some over here today. My intentions are, it's been out here a while, this portion right here, so it's fairly thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that sit there and let the rain beat down on it, kind of wash it down a little bit. But this early summer, late spring, when I have a chance to get some topsoil and get these logs out of here, milling those up and building that chicken house, I'm going to go ahead and put some topsoil on top of that and all around through here, because I'll have a lot of this moved by that time and used up, and that way we can kind of get some landscaping going, and when not, you know, some grass growing, and we won't have to be walking in a lot of this red clay. So that's another thing that's on the list to do, is to do you know, a little bit of landscaping. But let me take you around back, and I'll show you around back side of the cabin. We've still got a few twigs and things that I need to pick up back here, but pretty much got this cleaned out. I saved those pieces of scrap 2x10s and so forth to scotch on the legs of the ladder, because there's still some caulking that I need to do. That's not all complete, but the main thing of getting the siding on so that it was out of the weather to protect my flooring and everything else, that's on. Probably sometime soon I'll be making the doors. Got one on each end of the cabin. It's going to be 4 feet wide, and it's about this tall. That'll open up to be able to allow me access, because I still have to get under there, staple that radiant barrier on the bottom. Well, I've got to put up the little wires to hold the insulation up. Then I have to tack the radiant barrier down underneath. But what I'm going to do first is drill my holes, pull my wire up through, so that all of that's done, because I don't want to disturb that radiant barrier any more than I have to. But another thing that I may have to do, you know, I can't really, I can go ahead and set the post on the front of the cabin for my porch, but I need to put the rock on the wall underneath on this knee wall first before I actually put my decking across there. And then this section back here is going to get a small deck, so I'll need to do this side. The two ends, you know, as long as I've got these two sides done where I'm going to do the decking, that way I don't have to crawl under there and do that. It's going to make it a whole lot easier. But that's going to be coming up pretty soon, so that's something that I'm going to have to do. Another thing that I'm going to have to do is probably move these steps, get the tractor back here, and scrape this down. And what I'm going to do is lay in a small drain pipe down through here that's perforated, and I will also, before I do that, probably dig some holes and set some posts and put in a couple of logs like I've done these retaining walls. That way the bank doesn't continue to, you know, little bits of it coming off kind of like breaking up and rolling down as it rains and so forth, to keep that up there. So then I can lay that drain tile down through here, and then I'll take some of that rock that I've got, and just this will basically be rock back here. I may, you know, dress it up a little bit, but that's kind of like my plans on doing that portion right there. It's not going to matter, it's going to be behind the cabin anyway. So we've got this completed now. Now let me take you around front of the cabin and show you what I've got left to do there. Okay, so this is the front, and I have that pile of logs right there that I saved that are really crooked, and it's not going to make any difference because that chicken house is going to kind of be built like that compost toilet. There'll be a lot of curved material used in it. Once I start building that chicken house, all those logs will leave, and I don't intend on putting any more here. That way I can do the landscaping on the front. But my porch, it will probably come out to maybe about right in here. I thought maybe 7 feet, something like that. And like I say, I can go ahead and dig my holes and set my posts so that I can put the roof on and extend the roof. And I can go ahead and get gutters on, get my tanks for my rain catchment system, and start getting those tanks filled up. But I don't have to necessarily put the decking in here. I can just go ahead and put, like I say, the roof on. That way it will allow me to be able to do my wall before I actually put my decking on. Now, do I have to do that? No, I don't have to. Are you going to see it? No. You're probably not going to be able to see up underneath, but you know, I like to do things complete and total, so I'm probably just going to go ahead and do it that way, and that way it's done. And if the porch ever gets taken down or torn off or whatever, you know, now if you're coming up the hill, you'll be able to see up underneath the porch, because I don't intend on closing it off down to the ground. So you'll be able to see up under there. But it will help protect, you know, my posts, because I'm going to rock around my post all the way down to the footer. It's going to help protect everything. So that's what I've got in mind doing, and then of course the rest of the house will be done the same way. But yeah, just some caulking here and there around the windows, up underneath the eaves, against the edge of the metal up there, and a few spots. I've still got my front door, my back door I've got to do. I'll probably start on that front door here pretty soon. I think I'm going to just go ahead and buy the back door and hang it, probably a metal exterior door, because that's going to be the one we probably use the most. But the front doors, I wanted it to kind of be a little bit unique. My idea is to 2 rows of 2x6s, kind of like I did the outdoor toilet, and I'm going to sandwich in some styrofoam in between so it will be insulated, but it'll end up being about 3.5, maybe 4 inches thick, and then I'll put a casing around that, and I may or may not cut out a hole to have some sort of a window, but my neighbor is going to make me some 16-inch hinges to go on it, and so it ought to look really cool once it's done. Anyway guys, I'm going to go ahead and cut this video here. Just wanted to kind of bring you a little bit about the cleanup up here at the Outpost, because especially that sawmill, after this flurry of siding that we put up, especially there towards the end, we cut a whole lot of battens, and they were just piled up on the bunks in there. I actually got them stacked up there underneath the kitchen to save for another day, and a lot of scrap pieces to build his dog house is up there. So got more work than I can handle. If any of you are retired or on vacation or want to take vacation and come down here, you are more than welcome to come out here and help me. No, I'm just teasing. But we've got more than we can handle out here building this homestead and putting it together. And then once I get close to getting, you know, moved in, things kind of straightened around, then the massive cleanup in the surrounding area, you know, the underbrush of the trees and the ones that are leaning and getting those pulled down, and just getting it cleaned up, you know, a ways back, the immediate area that you have to look at, you know, that would make me a whole lot happier to be able to, you know, not necessarily golf course clean, but just to have the undergrowth and stuff looking nice, and be able to just, you know, look out through there and enjoy, you know, the forest, the woodland that's around the area. But anyway, but thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the support on both of our channels. And by the way, remember, starting March 22nd, we're changing things up because my girlfriend is moving here, and we figured that it would be better for you all because we can change the channel up a little bit. I'm going to do one review per week on Wednesday. There will be 2 videos per week like we used to do on the Outpost channel on Monday and Friday. We figured it would be more entertaining for you guys because it'd be able to bring you a little bit more production in that amount of time, and you wouldn't necessarily see the baby steps moving forward, trying to, you know, get things accomplished up here. It would also, you know, allow me time to be able to spend with my girlfriend who's moving up here, going to be living in the same town, and allow me to spend more time with Jennifer. And because, you know, when I was single and didn't have a girlfriend or anything like that, and just working up here every day, videoing every day, editing every night, wasn't a big deal, but I need to be able to spend time with them. So like I said, starting March 22nd, that'll be the first Outpost video. That's on a Monday. Wednesday will be a review video, and then on Friday will be another Outpost video. So that's going to help us out a great deal too. It will allow me a day off in between videos. I won't be editing so much. So anyway, we hope that you understand. We're just trying to make it better for you all too. We talked it over at length, and we feel that it's probably the best thing for the channel. That way, like I said, it should be more entertaining for you to watch and be able to see a lot more being done. Anyway guys, again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for all your support. We love you. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.